your daily dose of fitness, food, and fun. Angelica's Daily Surprise starts now.
Probably one of my most complex ones.
How did you go to the bathroom? I have the biggest basic bitch Wonder Woman costume. Oh, hey there. Just getting ready for today's surprise. Now, I know you see me dress up a lot, but I'm dressed up as something different today because you know what? I've been doing a lot of thinking. I work out a lot, and I'm pretty strong. And I think it's about time that I use my strength for something good. That's why I'm dressed up as Wonder Woman. I'm ready to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. Now I just need a bad guy. Who should I start with? Oh, I know. Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Oh, hello there.
I can't believe it worked.
It did work. I'm here.
You look like you're gonna be a handful. I need help. I need a crusader. What?
Hello.
Hello, a crusader from Diablo 3. Okay, wow. Surprise! Today on the menu, we have the unexpectedly vast world of cosplay, and joining me are two professional cosplayers, Jalea and Aaron. Okay, now I'm totally embarrassed. Pan up fast, let's get this over with. I am embarrassed because I have the biggest basic bitch Wonder Woman costume, probably known to man. You know, I don't even have stars or a golden lasso or a belt or anything. I'm so measly. But you, focus on these two. They're astonishing. And I had no idea that cosplay could get as intense?
Elaborate.
Elaborate? Yeah. All of these things. Tell me about it. What is cosplay?
Cosplay is costume role play. So it kind of combines those two worlds of bringing Halloween to your life every day, which just sounds awesome. So you could cosplay anything. You could be from a video game. You could be from a movie. You could be from a music video if you want to. It literally opens the door to being any creative version of yourself that you want to be.
The best thing about cosplay is it doesn't, there's no boundaries when it comes to gender, race, size, physicality, anything. It could be whatever you'd like it to be.
So Halloween gets to be every day for you.
I feel like most cosplayers start out as avid Halloweeners. That's how it starts at an early age.
That's the gateway.
That's the gateway, yeah.
So you use it to express yourself artistically as well. Is this your main channel of expression?
I think so. Like for me, I mean, obviously I was walking down the street dressed as Beetlejuice today, so I was getting a couple looks and I was like, ah, yes, artistic expression. So it's something that like, when you feel like you're having one of those moments where you're like, you know what, I kind of want to do something crazy. Throwing on a costume just kind of gives you like that extra bit of confidence, that extra kind of a bigger version of yourself.
Here's my next question. Say I want to get into cosplay. What do I need to do to get started?
First step for me is always like go to a convention. Go to a convention and meet your people, see your people. And what happens is you kind of find your tribe or your clique, if you will. You find like the people that mesh with you, and you start to craft with these people. You start to go and learn makeup from these people, learn how to do wigs from these people. And it really is about sharing knowledge and about learning how to progress as a cosplayer. I remember I went to Fan Expo 2020 dressed as Maleficent, and I was really nervous. I had never done a costume this big before.
Did you do the cheekbones?
Oh, I did everything. Prosthetics, the big wings, they were 9 feet wide, they went up and down, they had linear actuators in them. I went the whole 9 yards. And I remember being nervous, and I walked in, and this little girl was like, oh my gosh, are you the real Maleficent? And I was like, this is what it's about. This is the moment when you see those little kids and they actually think that you're Maleficent. It's like that kind of barrier between reality and fantasy, right? Because like we watch these movies, we see these characters, and you always go like, I wish I was Maleficent. But for 2 hours of the day, you are. Yes. And that's what makes it so fun.
So that sounds like a pretty complex costume. What has been your most complex costume to date, would you say? And once it was on, how did you go to the bathroom?
I'll let Aaron take this one over.
Well, this is probably one of my most complex ones. And as for going to the bathroom, it helps having a wife who's very understanding with your costume and knows how it works.
Okay, so you look like you've put a lot of effort into your costumes. Can you tell me a bit about your process?
For sure. So I usually pick my costumes based on like the type of event. So if I'm doing like a morning show or something that I want to get to quickly, I will do what I call quick costumes. So I have a set of costumes that go well into suitcases, pack very easily, mostly made of fabric, something that the makeup doesn't have prosthetics, it doesn't have glue on the wig, something I can put on very easily.
And what is this character?
So this is Beetlejuice. As you can tell by my guide hat. Like I said, very Halloween-centric, so this was kind of one of my first characters that I really wanted to do. And then for bigger conventions, like something that Erin's wearing, this is what I wear when I go to work, if you will. So they're heavy to transport, a lot of time to put on, lots of hours.
Need a handler.
Need a handler. So you kind of have to map out what you're wearing based on where you're going.
Okay, now tell me about your costume. Who is this character?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite characters from Diablo 3. He's a crusader. So this was the first big project I wanted to tackle, and I started by 3D modeling all the stuff and 3D printing a lot of it. Wow. So in total, like just printing time for all the different pieces, I would say it was about 400 hours worth of printing. And this was back when I had one printer, so it took quite a bit.
That's without painting, without priming, without
all the finishing, post-production, that's not including failed prints.
So what would you say to anyone who is cosplay curious but is shy about getting started?
I think like what Jalea said earlier, go to a convention, get a sense of what you like, what you want to do, what you're comfortable with, and then the internet is your best friend.
I was just about to say, sometimes people are afraid to go into the actual space, right? It's a lot different than, you know, putting on a costume and being in front of your phone.
Yes.
Putting on a costume and going into an expo might be too much for you the very first time, but there are communities online that are just waiting for you with open arms. Yeah. So I think it's just putting aside the fact that you are, if people are embarrassed, right? That's the first thing. They're just like, I don't know, I really want to do this, but like, it's something kids do, right? But it's not. There's no age in cosplay. I remember doing a panel in Calgary, and there was this guy, and he was dressed as one of the characters from Game of Thrones, and he was just like, I'm 74. He's like, isn't that awesome? I'm like, that's badass, bro. I was so excited. And to see people cosplaying from like 2 to 70 to 80, that's what it's all about. And it's about kind of just putting yourself out there and taking a leap.
But you don't have to do that to get into it, right? You could just go on forums, you can go to YouTube, Google it, find different tutorials. There's lots of blogs you can read on getting comfortable. And maybe if you reach out in those communities, you could find someone that is, or a group of people that's willing to help you and meet you and say, okay, this is my first cosplay. I'm a little nervous. I feel like I'm a basic bitch Wonder Woman, but you know.
Well, thank you so much for dropping by today. Oh, I'm so lucky. I learned so much about cosplay, and I hope you did too. I'd hug you, but the armor and you look too perfect. I don't want to mess anything up. Okay, now I know you have a convention you've got to run off to probably, so I'm going to let you skedaddle. That's been Angelica's Daily Surprise. See you next time.